Hello everybody and welcome back inside the box for another episode of Gunpla Kitbash with me, Kukamatsu. In this episode, we need to figure out how to make those feet fit onto the new inner frame and then make them bigger. So, let's jump right in. Okay, now that we have that done, the next trick is going to be trying to figure out how to mount them to the inner frame. I did end up gluing it all together, just so much easier than trying to make it fit all together later on. So I've had to also cut down the inner frame a bit. I mean, I removed the parts that were on the outside anyway, but then I've also had to chop a few pieces off. There is one more part that I'm going to have to cut, which is going to be this part here, so that this knee mechanism can slide down and this can end up high enough. I think what I'm going to do is keep these knee caps rather than switching back to the original Gouf Custom knees. I'm just going to paint them the color of the regular Gouf Custom knee, but I think this is kind of a nice upgrade to the existing knee anyway. It's a similar shape and it's got the cool thing in the middle, so hang on to that. That makes that part easy. It's just a matter of getting this part working on there, and then from there the foot mechanism, and then figuring out how to fit the foot into that. But the key here, I think, is going to be getting this up far enough so that it looks like it's meant to be there. So the ideal would be to just put a slot down the middle to accommodate that rather than cutting out that whole base. So that's what I'm going to try and do. Once again, I'm going to use my trusty razor saw. It should give me a pretty nice cut there. I do have to try and avoid wrecking anything else I've done on the rest of the panel, which would be a bit of a trick. I'm just drawing some guides here so I know basically what I want to do. I'm probably going to go about that low. I want to be just on the outside of those pegs. I think it's going to be about there. I can always widen it, of course, and it doesn't have to be the exact width of that inner frame piece. It actually should be a little bit wider. So well, that is pretty spectacular. So the next step then is going to be fitting the foot panels onto the inner frame. This thing is pretty chunky. It kind of just fits there. Let's try this. It's pretty good. I'll have to chop that part out. I can always cut off some of that if I need to get it to sit down in there. I'm going to start by chopping the bits out from inside. I don't think I need the functionality of this part. So I have the ankle. It is just a little touch too tight, so I'm just going to cut down that area a little bit to make it fit over the inner frame a bit better. There we go, that's sitting nicer now. That's looking cool. So what I think I need to do is just dig out some of the stuff here, which is going to expose underneath, but I'm not too worried about that. There we go, that's working very nice. Okay, time to make the feet bigger. And my plan for this is going to be to take this styrene and just wrap it around the front, or wrap it around the whole way actually. Ultimately, the plan is I want to keep the connection between these two parts as it is. So I want to go down from there and out and then back in, so there'll be some extra on the bottom and it'll be wider on all sides. So that's why I want to put on the styrene here as a beginning point, so that's how wide it will be at the bottom. So what I'm thinking of doing is just taking my time and gluing a little bit and then wrapping around, gluing it a bit more, and just go all the way around. This is bendy enough that I can get all the way around there, but it'd be really difficult to glue it all at once. So I'm just going to do it in stages and make it easy on myself if I can. Well, it looks like I got a little bit of a break right there, but I'm not too worried about that kind of thing because I'm going to fill all the spaces with super glue anyway, so that's all fixable. Broke on that one too. I guess it's just a little too tight of a corner. Probably if I heated up the styrene, it would work better. Just hold it there while it dries and hopefully it'll stay. It looks a bit messy to begin with, but I think it's actually a pretty good start. I kind of like the size already. It's starting to look more in scale to the leg. I'm going to do a second layer of this. Then I'll just do some preliminary shaping with the big file to get a sense of the angles. Okay, that actually went pretty well and pretty fast compared to the leg panels, so I'm pretty happy with that. And got them pretty smooth here, and I'm ready to paint them gray to see what little imperfections I have to deal with. Or big imperfections as the case may be. There's quite a big one I just found right there. But I'll go ahead and paint it gray anyway and then make some repairs. That really shows you why painting the gray is important. The first one actually is almost perfect. There's one little tiny spot there and otherwise nothing really to do. Oh, maybe just that corner right there. But this one has these like 3 big spots on it that I didn't see at all on this other stuff as well. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to strip this down, strip the paint off this with some isopropyl alcohol just to make sure that the super glue will stick to that since it's such a big spot. And this one I'll just leave as it is because I think it's pretty good. Now the other thing that the paint helps to reveal is I have this little front bevel, and it was really difficult to get them to match when it was black and white because I just couldn't tell the shape exactly. Now I can see they are a little bit different, so I'll do a little bit of work, just file that one down a little bit to match that one if I can. Well, that worked out pretty well, I think. I was originally going to make them a bit taller as well, but I quite like the way the angle hits the ground, so I'm going to keep it like that. That's pretty cool. And I think the way it integrates with the leg is looking pretty good. It looks more like it's in proportion than it was when it was narrower, so I'm pretty happy with that. Gotta say, that was pretty fun. And that is the end of the episode. In the next episode, we'll have to figure out what to do with the waste unit. So, if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you give me a like down below. Check out the playlist for previous videos. Subscribe if you want to follow along, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!